Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel. We're gonna do another wig review and another like chat through some just what's going on in the world and just serving up my 2 cents that no one asked for. But so yeah, we're just gonna head on and do another wig review. So I've kind of been like the last couple reviews kind of just been like bashing the wigs that have been coming out. Emery, which is who I'm wearing right now, and Sensational Butta 16 and Kamalia. I just feel like they're just like really, really heavy units and kind of just like not what I would wear necessarily for the summer season. But I'm gonna just put my money where my mouth is and just like shut up and just review Sensational Butta 16. I actually really am really interested to see actually how it does fare in this like 90, 85, 90 degree heat. I think all the wigs have been constructed beautifully. I bought them all. I just, in terms of just like the wear, I'm just gonna say, hey, chalk it up to already having my fall hair ready because the wigs, I just am like, man, these wigs are so constructed so beautifully. If there was just like a different curl pattern or a different like kink to it, it might, for some, I might like it better. I might be able to feel like I can get away with it wearing it in the summertime. So I'm gonna review Sensational Butta 16. Everybody's already seen, the packaging. Everybody's already seen the box. Here's the stock card. I got her in Flamboyage Mocha, and I got her in just a traditional one. So yeah, we're just gonna talk through some things. Actually, the topic I actually want to talk about today, it's kind of near and dear to my heart just because I kind of have a different perspective of, I don't know, my lifestyle, how I was raised is very different. I kind of want to talk about Monique and that, PSA she put out there for, I think it was targeted towards African American women. But for those who don't know, which I'm sure everybody does, but for those who don't know, Monique put out like a PSA talking about how she felt like women, especially Black women, kind of need to care more about their appearance and need to respect themselves more and care more about how they present themselves to the world. Going out in robes and slippers and bonnets is just not how you present yourself. And if you want the rest of the world to take you seriously as African American women in a world where African American women, or just women period, just aren't really taken seriously or aren't taken as seriously, then we as the deciders of our own fates and how we present ourselves to the world, we need to take ourselves more seriously. And I just kind of want to say, I'm sorry, well, not sorry, but I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers when I say this, but I don't disagree with her. I agree with what she's saying. Now, I just want to talk about why. I've talked on this channel a lot about how conservative my parents were when raising me. So I'm adopted. I was raised with adopted siblings. They're my siblings. I love them, but we are from different families, and we were placed in foster care and we were adopted. Everybody's already seen the cap construction, 2 combs, a comb, and adjustable straps. We're just gonna throw this on. I'm not gonna adjust the straps because I want to see if it's big head friendly. Oh, my light just went out. See if this does anything. So it is big head friendly for sure. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculously big head friendly. So I was adopted, and my parents were in their late 40s, early 50s when they adopted me. And so I am being raised by women the age of a lot of people's grandparents, and that's okay. Um, that's I was given a great life by these people, but we are almost 2 generations removed, because I am now, I just had my first child. My sister just had her first child, and my other sister just had twins, which were her first. And my parents are in their 70s and 80s. So, um, we're about 2 generations apart, and it's interesting because I think that's the reason why a lot of how I was raised panned out the way it did, because I was not allowed to leave the house in rollers. I wasn't allowed to leave the house in any type of like scarf, garment, anything. Presentation was very, very important to my parents. Now, we were one of the only Black families in the neighborhood, and so I'm sure that had a lot to do with, you know, how we presented ourselves, how my parents wanted to present us when we walked outside. Presentation was just a part of growing up. I used to wear micros all the time. I wore micros from the time I was like 3rd grade until I was a sophomore, junior in college. And I remember one time I just got finished taking out my micros, washing my hair, getting relaxed, and I was leaving to get into the vehicle so that my mother could take me to the African who did my hair. And I walked outside without anything on my head, and my hair was just a disheveled mess. And my mother yelled at me and was like, "What are you doing walking out of the house looking like that?" She said, "You have no idea who you're going to run into. You have no idea, God forbid, if we get into a car accident. You have no idea if, God forbid, we get pulled over. People are going to judge you based on your appearance, and no, it's not right, but there's a lot of things not right in the world. It doesn't make it stop from happening." So she was like, "It doesn't matter. I don't care. You're not leaving the house looking the way you look." And I didn't have slippers on. I didn't have a robe on. I didn't have a bonnet on. My head was just a little disheveled. And she was like, "Absolutely not. Go put on an appropriate hair accessory that you can cover." So I went and got a hat, like a bucket hat or something like that. And if we got pulled over, I could just throw in the hat and it'd be fine. But I say that to say this, like, presentation matters and it's important. I was not allowed to leave the house without earrings. I used to fight my mom on this all the time, but like, I wear earrings everywhere I go now. I was not allowed to have like a wristband on my arm, you know, those like hair wristbands. I'm trying to see if I can find one in my bag here. One of these. I got yelled at if I had one of these on my wrist. My mom just said that didn't look presentable. Red nail polish in general, absolutely not, she said. It's all about presentation. And my mother was like, if you can't afford to upkeep your nails to make sure that they look presentable, don't get them done. And I appreciate the fact that Monique has come out and said, like, aspire to present a better you when you walk out of your house. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I feel like the women of my parents' generation before paved the way for women like us in my generation to be able to be like, stick our middle fingers to the world and be like, screw the standard, we can do whatever we want. The reason why we have the luxury to be able to do that is because of the women who weren't able to do that and wanted to present a better self to the world so that they felt like Black women could be taken seriously. However, okay, so I paused that rant to talk about this. So this is Butta Lace 16 in a 1, and it's gorgeous and beautiful, and it's very just, you know, this is the hairstyle that I feel like Kim Kardashian like set ablaze from 2010 and on. It's very simple, it's very classic, it's very elegant. One thing that surprised me about the Butta Lace unit is it's full, but it's not thick. And I was really worried about like stepping outside with this during the summer because I just feel like I thought it was gonna be like too thick, and it's not. This is a gorgeous 1B color. I love the layers. I think they're just very easy breezy and easy flowing. It is big head friendly, so I haven't adjusted the straps, and I would need to if I were to walk outside my house. So this is the 1. I am 5'7.5". I'm almost 5'8", and it comes down to like right there with a little curl under. Okay, that's the 1. I love Monique, and you know, a lot of things have happened to her that were unfortunate in terms of how she was treated and stuff. But the one thing that I can appreciate about her is it's not a popular opinion to come out and be like, well, you can't, you shouldn't be telling folks how they can and can't dress. People should be treated the same way no matter what. And if they're not, oh well. And I get it. Yeah, people shouldn't judge. People shouldn't do anything. But you walk down the street, you know, with your pants sagging, people are going to treat you differently. Should they? No. But that's not the world we live in. You walk around with something as simple, in my opinion, as like bright blonde hair versus brunette. In my opinion, do people treat you a little bit differently? And that's just hair color. Something as like brash and bold as a bonnet and slippers and robe, it's just like people are going to treat you differently. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying that you shouldn't feel like you can leave the house in whatever you want, because you should, and you're going to regardless of what this video comes across as. But people are going to treat you differently, and I just feel like if you want better, or if you want to allow yourself to be given the option to be given better, then you need to present better. That's just the way of the world. Okay, so this is Flamboyage Mocha. Okay, so first of all, I feel like I can pull off a lot of color. I feel like a lot of color looks really good on me. For whatever reason, just light brown just is not working for me. I don't know if it washes me out, but I'm not feeling this light brown color. I don't know. I just feel like it's too light. It's too light. And this Flamboyage Mocha thing, the same thing happened with Emery. I just felt like these chunks were just very stationary. I don't feel like they were very structured throughout the unit. Again, same with Emery. The same way I had Flamboyage Mocha and there was just like a chunk right there. It really wasn't, it didn't flow throughout the wig. I kind of feel like this wig looks half done. I feel like the Sensational Butta Lace Unit 16, the one that I just had on, I feel like the curls were a little bit more defined. I feel like they had a little bit more bump to it. This I just kind of feel like somebody halfway ran a curling iron through it and then just decided to leave it. I think it's a very pretty unit. I think the color that's not the this light piece, I think it's a beautiful color. I just don't think it's pretty on me. I think it just washes me out, in my personal opinion. But yeah, this is Flamboyage Mocha. It's still big head friendly. Getting a very soft yaki touch to it, but it's very soft and very light. So I'll eat my words. I could probably wear this unit in the summertime. I probably could. I won't. I probably won't, because like I said, I'm trying to stockpile for fall. But this unit wasn't as like heavy and as like anti-summer friendly as I thought it was gonna be. But you know, I just want to say this to ladies out there, coming from somebody who had a really difficult time really trying to find her footing as a female and trying to find her footing as a woman. It sucked, because I just felt like no matter what I did, I was never gonna be good enough in terms of how I looked, or in terms of just like having style as a female, or in terms of, you know, shopping and being feminine and all that kind of stuff. It was a struggle for me. It really, really was. But I will tell you this, as a grown woman, I'm happy that my parents pushed me to have a standard and to not walk out my house looking ridiculous. Even though we fought all the time for it, I'm grateful that my parents said, I don't care that you don't like this. I don't care that you're mad at me for it. This is what I expect of you as a female. This is what I expect you to present yourself. This is how I expect you to present yourself as a female. And yes, like I said before, I've struggled with it, but I'm happy that I was pushed to be able to know what's acceptable. because the world's not going to give a damn. They're just going to either slam a door in your face or laugh at you behind your back. Or they may just say, screw it, this is how she's coming out of her house, she must not care, so why should I? I have a daughter, and I'm going to train her the way that I feel like lessons for me are important that I learned growing up. I didn't seem like they were important when I was, 9 and 15 and 18 and 22, but as I've gotten older and as I've become more aware of society, I understand that my parents weren't telling me those things to hurt my feelings or make me mad or to be, old-fashioned or whatever you want to call it. They're telling me that because they've lived through their 30s and their 40s, and they're just trying to make my life as best as possible. So I'm going to tell my daughter, don't you dare walk out the house in a bonnet and slippers and a robe. Don't you dare. You're not better than anybody else because I'm telling you not to, but I want you to present your best, and your best is not in a robe, and your best is not in a bonnet, and your best is not in slippers. And that's going to ruffle some feathers if anybody does dare watch this video. That is going to ruffle some feathers. I'm not trying to act like my child or my way or my parents' way is superior to others. But I feel like if a lot of parents and a lot of grandparents fought with their children and fought with their girls to present better, then, I just feel like we could achieve so much more. Our parents and our grandparents and the women that came before us achieved so much, and we're so privileged to be able to feel like we can just walk out our door in whatever we want. And we should be able to honor what our parents did and the way that they paved for us by being better. And by being better, it means not walking out your door looking like you're headed for bed. No, it doesn't take much to throw on a pair of jeans or a pair of leggings and some gym shoes. It doesn't take much. It really doesn't. Everybody's got that. Everybody's got a pair of Jimmies. Doesn't have to be, Nikes or Adidas or Reebok or anything expensive like that. Just a pair of Jimmies and some leggings. It doesn't take much. Throw on a wig. There's a 9.5 million channels of women talking about wigs. Throw on a wig. People get their hair braided all the time. Throw on a bucket hat. I'm going to teach my daughter that there are different ways to go about it. I understand people want to be lazy. I understand people don't want to necessarily put effort in. I get that. There are different ways to go about still being presentable without feeling like you got to put on a full face and curl your hair to the gods and all that kind of stuff. There's different ways. So, Monique, I love you. I appreciate your message. I understand it. And the reason why I understand it is because my parents, 2 generations apart from us, raised me and my siblings. So, all right, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.